Welcome everybody to My Life, and we are here today to actually bring you a really interesting topic about balancing life, balancing the art of work and social. So with social we mean everything that is outside of work. So I guess we could even talk about the sleep time, but it's the dynamic that we all have to learn to live with and as times are challenging, we have to find more and more ways to make the most out of the time that we have. And I think what we want to bridge today is how does it actually work in terms of work and our private life. So how do these actually interact, and how do we understand that whole concept? Now, today with me are Minja and Aapo Summanen, and we all internal partners for Dolce Vita, and also key players in delivering My Life. So you get some really good insights from these guys, and we get our international perspective as well, because Minja is actually based in Spain at the moment. Minja, do you want to give a brief intro and tell people why you're in this panel?
Yes, I'm glad to do so. Thank you so much for inviting me here. I'm very glad to be part of My Life and Dolce Vita. So first of all, why I'm part of this? I think because it started even 2 years ago when we actually moved here in Spain, 2017. But the problem was where we moved is I wanted to move better place where we were, but we moved further, and I was thinking I'm gonna go with the bike. But I would have to leave like 5 o'clock, and it's dark, and it's like these kind of like, I don't know, mountains, and I don't know how to drive a bike, and it broke the bike. So I decided, okay, I take a taxi, I take a bus, and I run to work. It will take me 2 hours every day to reach and to come back. I decided, no way, I'm not gonna doing that. So I started working from my home. Many people say, how could you do that? But now many people actually have to do that. And I have found it benefits from it. So I think that's why I'm here, to show you the benefits, what is actually great, what you cannot do if you're in office.
Excellent. Thank you, Minja.
Yeah.
And Aapo, what about you then? A brief intro to why you are joining us on this panel today.
So it's a very interesting moment, because I feel like kind of finally mastered on some level this working life and other life balance, and especially with working from home after these changes happening in the world. And my background is from athletic career, and I've been traveling a lot, so I learned to combine many things together. And now when I'm really dived into the business life really like completely, I can use those skills in my business life, and I'm really interested to share with you the tools I learned how to make working life and business life enjoyable part of life, so that it's kind of, so that you could find the same feelings that I have, like yesterday, that I checked the watch, oh, it's 9 o'clock in the evening, it's time to start resting, and did I do some work today, even though the feeling is so restful and happy, even though I have done a lot of things, and it's just flowing nicely together.
Excellent.
Wow.
And that fits well. So in terms of myself, I'm Niklas, and yeah, I'm sure many of you have read my profile, but I think the main thing that I'm going to bring today is the fact that, you know, I've had a very international career, lived in many countries, had to adapt to a lot of things. Actually, my life's been all about adapting, I think. And I think that's the aspect that I want to bring, and how running, you know, to be a serial entrepreneur, how can you actually still have a, you know, a great balanced life? And what did it take for me? So I'm going to share some of those insights as part of this. And I think it's really interesting that we can bring such diverse backgrounds to this conversation, because that's what it's all about. It's about trying to figure out how it all works, and you know, that's important. Right, but let's get started. I'm going to take the screen off now, so move to the speaker view. Right. So I'm going to throw the ball to you, Minja, first. And why don't you tell us a little bit? I think that story about, you know, trying to change the setting. What was the reason, you know, that actually made you guys choose to move, you know, to Spain? And that, you know, when you really think about it, what was the process behind it? And just like, can you then quickly take us to the idea of what it has brought to you, to your like your mind, heart, soul kind of connection?
Wow, cool question. Because first of all, I have been living here before, but not for long. Like the maximum time would be 11 months. And I always was so sad when I have to leave, because I feel this is my home. I don't know, maybe my past lives I have been here. So always when I had to leave, it's so horrible, but still I am Finnish. So still yesterday in my Zoom, I was remembering spring. So I started crying. They said, maybe you are homesick. Well, sometimes I am. We don't have woods like that. So that is something that I miss, the forest. But, and of course, a little bit of family members too. But the thing is, I always wanted to come back. And we decided first to live in Finland, but then like in my work where I was working, because I was pregnant, I had to get a work. Even I'm an entrepreneur, but I couldn't take that stress that what if I don't have enough money, and now I have a new person and another person where I have to find money, and I need much more money than I never needed. So I had to choose a job, and I actually hired my rank there. I did something that nobody did in that telemarketing company, and I was very proud of that. But when I had my summer holidays, I come back and my boss says, don't do your job, what you're doing, what you're earning €1,000 more in a month. And I feel so betrayed. I said, the things I have done for your company and to you, you don't appreciate me. Well, I moved to Spain, I decided. And I sold everything in 1 month. I didn't have any savings. I just went straight to another job to really get it rolling. It was very hard. But what happened in my mind and soul, what you asked, which was a great question, because when we are Finnish, we know so much about our surroundings and how people think, and it can be very depressing, because people in Spain, they say the same thing. Here's jealousy, here's, you know, they say the same thing, but because I don't understand it, it's a different culture. For me, it seems there is not such a thing. But now when I get more deep into the culture, it is here too. But it helped me to little bit like ventilate my brain, that I got freedom, I got space. I don't know these people, I don't know these people. So I had to like build anew. And when you change a language, your brain change also. So I kind of reborn again, and it felt good to just, you know, clean everything off, sell everything off, and start from the beginning. And well, in my family, we always been moving. It's like a family happening like almost every month or at least 2 times a year. So it is very clearing your mind to just move. So I think yeah.
Yeah, I think that's brilliant, because this is when I think back to my days, and I've obviously I did live 10 years in the UK and then come back. So now I'm back in Finland, and it's interesting what happens in this space, and it's exactly that process of clearing that, or it might not be clearing, it's actually part that it's clearing because it's new, so that it's that freedom that comes to you when you have to settle into a new setting. You have to challenge yourself on such a high level. So I went, and I had to study in English. My English was good, but it was nowhere good enough at that point when I arrived that I would be able to just perform at the same rate as others. So we have to do a lot of work to this, and that's, I think, one of the key things is adaptability. As I said, is about when you come in, and life is the same thing. Life is all about the change around us. And I think people who actually take such a big step, for instance, they move to a different country and they have to settle in. And I think it's really important that we also stay with the mindset like what you did, that you do not rely on others too much. You go and make your own life. Because when you go and make your own life, you start to understand what life is about. And I think that's what's missing for people who do not move around.
Exactly. I quickly have to say, and then I want to throw the ball to Aapo, because I want to hear what you have to say. But the thing is, really, many people, they are whining. I would, why I wanted, I would. Then why don't you do it? Really, everything is about your choice, and you cannot really blame nobody of it. And actually, I was thankful for my ex-boss that she treated me like that, because I wouldn't get the kick to really go and move, because it hurt me so much. But I really thanked her. I really thanked her. Now I want to throw the ball to you, Aapo, and I want to hear your story.
Yeah, there's so many resonances. I love your energy, Minja, and you're showing us an example for listeners and us, like to follow your dream. And when you are feeling like this is not for me anymore, then it's time to go. And like two nights ago, actually, I woke up during the night, and I opened the window to get some fresh air, and it wasn't fresh air, because this is a quite nice place to live, but there is this water cleaning area near here, and sometimes these smells are going around, and it's like, oh my God, that's fresh air, and breathing is so vital key element in my life. Key elements, that's one thing I'm gonna talk about more later. And so I decided now it's time to go, and now I'm working hard to really build a business that makes it possible to live in a beautiful place in nature. And I'm sure there is many others here in listeners who have the same feeling. So we are together, let's work together, and let's go and message and so on. And we have this vision about this eco village society setting place. So that's definitely happening in the future. And like Niklas said, when you go to a new environment, it's actually, I feel when I went abroad, living abroad, for example, the United States as exchange student, it was kind of easy to jump to the next level in my life, because there was not the old environment, different language. So actually it may be feeling like scary, but actually it's easy.
And I even have to comment on that. I think in United States, they have a different attitude, because I visited in Utah and people are like, even waitresses, they are telling their names. Hey, I'm Bob. What would you like? Do you have enough? Do you want salt or pepper? I can bring it to you. So it's like you have never get that kind of service in Finland or even in here. I've never
Wow, wow. And I'm
Yeah.
starting a new process actually with Utah connection. Nice that you said that.
Ah, okay, interesting.
Can,
Wow.
can I make a bridge here to what I think it actually means?
Ah,
And I have a feeling it has to do with survivalism. So a lot of people in the world think that the world is kind of ready and set for them, and you know, we have everything, we are born and we get everything, you know, it's on a plate pretty much. We have to do a little bit, but it's pretty much there. And what it lessens in us is our survival instinct isn't needed as much. The States is a place where there's a lot of uncertainty, which means that the survivalism is still quite high.
active.
Yes, and
Okay, interesting.
which means that they consciously and as well as unconsciously understand that they have to be at a certain level, adapting to their, you know, surrounding, and that is due to the survivalism, because they have to think about what happens to me. What if my job goes? They don't have the security like in Europe, you know, or, and all these kind of things.
Never thought about that.
And
I agree.
actually, when you travel, and when I've gone to most places outside of Europe, or in Europe, in the bigger countries again versus the smaller countries, the survivalism is better. So there is more, because there is less understanding of this ready world that's everything is working for us. So it's about people fighting also for their place in life. And this is it. This is the key, guys. It's about our place in life. That's all what it's about. And that's how you get in the end to that soul connection. So we need that survivalism, because that's where we come from. And that's where we need to stay.
And actually, there is where is the creativity also, because you have to build more special and more special things.
Yeah,
Wow.
full potential, momentum. You get the momentum and full potential. That's the way which takes you far away.
And like you, Aapo, you have a Yoda on the wall there. So when it comes to the thing, it's like the force. So survival is about the force. It's about understanding it. Survival is also living. And I think that's the thing that people mess up in their head, is that they don't understand the difference. They think that survival is something we need to be afraid of, when in actual fact, it's the gift that we're given. And it's with that gift that we can unlock all the secrets of our own lives. Because we do things for a certain type of necessity, but then when we keep working on our mindfulness and our conscious being inside grows, we can do this. We can have a high survivalism without stress. And this is flow.
Interesting. And of course, that is what makes me understand about how people get also depressed, because they, you know, I don't need to be creative. I don't need to create anything. I don't need to survive. They're going to pay me 800 whatever every month, so I can just do nothing.
Yeah.
So then the lives will be lost also completely.
It's boring. This brings me on my mind two memories, and I hope all this discussion inspires you listeners to really jump in to the unknown, to the new project, because this kind of survival moment, when you're like on a slight edge, like on a tipping, that afraid of falling there or there, you will die, and you just keep going really straight, then you feel the most alive. And I felt that when I was hiking in Norway. I was having 30 kilos on my backpack, and it was really on a really steep mountain, like really like the path was like this, and walking really on it, and all the other was they were having no backpacks and nothing, and I was like just going like step by step. I was looking, oh, if I now sleep, that's it. And those moments I felt so alive. I was like living to the fullest. I was so happy. Oh, really
And
good.
that's full of endorphin, what you are in that kind of moment when you're almost gonna die. So your body will produce it automatically. So
Yeah,
it's like
absolutely.
a love, being in
Those-
love. Yeah.
those chemicals. And another memory from United States, I was traveling around the world, and in a redwoods forest, actually, where Yoda has maybe visited as well. I don't remember for sure. This Ewok planet. Anyways, when you really let go, you may feel the same freedom. I was also with my backpack, and I went there, and like I wanted to run. I wanted to run like freely, and I couldn't do that if I just carry my backpack all the time, and I was not having my like a hotel or near and just like passing by. So I decided, okay, I hide this backpack next to a tree, and I knew there was bears and people maybe stealing sometimes, and I just hide it there near the parking place next to a tree and covered it. And I was like, that's everything I have. I'm far away from home. and
Wow.
I took a little backpack actually just to go on. And I was feeling, okay, just trusting life, that I left the big backpack there and went further with the little one, with little water and maybe some little bit eating and maybe money and credit card and stuff like that. Later, I also hide that as well. There was animals, there was other people going through, and I felt even more free. And then I, it was a hot day, and I wanted to leave my shirt as well. Then finally, I had nothing more than my running shoes and my pants, and I was again living to the fullest, like best moments in my life. And then I came back and I found all of them. They were still there waiting for. And I believe that it's the energy you're sending out. That's what you get. So if you trust, you're gonna be taken care of.
I think that's great. The energy that we give and receive, and in the bigger run, the energy is constantly doing its job, and I think that's the point. But it's about how we understand it, and the way you, Aapo, use that example here is great, because that's exactly the point. And I was going to say that we should talk about the motivation of life as well. So the motivation of working and the motivation of having your family or raising your family, caring for your relationships, caring for the environment, all of these things that are part of our life. And I think one of the things that people sort of maybe have missed out a little bit, and why the energy isn't really flowing that well, is that maybe people don't really understand all of the things that are part of life. What are our responsibilities? Why are we, for instance, having problems with caring for the planet, for instance? Shouldn't there be just a duty to do some things, like to be smart? It requires us to think bigger. You know, we don't have to be small just because everybody around us tells us to be small. We can be, each and every one can be more. Each and every one can be everything. So the whole key really is in this kind of flow state. But to get there, to make to realize, if your parents cannot explain to you, or your teachers or your whatever explain to you what the world is, go out and figure out what it is. Do not stick. Do absolutely not stick to these kind of things that are pinning you down to the place and location where other people want you to be. Everybody is meant to be here to find something. If you don't search, you don't get anything, and you don't get that flow of energy that Aapo is talking about. You will not find it because you don't deserve it. It's so simple.
Exactly. You gotta work for it. And I wanted to talk about a little bit what you arised there, and what I promised to tell in beginning. is the benefits of working from home. Because sometimes, you know, you're tired or your muscles are tense. So, you know, when I work in telephone, it doesn't matter in what kind of position I am, or, you know, am I even taking sun? Many times I'm taking sun and I'm talking in telephone. Who can do that in an office? Nobody. Or I'm stretching. I actually did that in office in Finland, and they were like, what are you doing? Because I was hurting a little bit in my legs. So I was stretching. So, but if you're even tired, you know, you can go and take a nap. And what actually my husband said, even before when I was working in an office, he said, you know, why we cannot have sex during the day? Because it's the best time. You are more filled with energy. And then at night you're tired, then you have to wake up early. Or, you know, if you have children, you cannot do it whenever you want. So, but if you work in your home, your children might be in a daycare, or they might be in a school. You can even have sex during the day. And that's like the best thing on earth. You can take the best time of your life to you. And usually if I don't have sex, I might exercise on that time, because then I'm full with energy, and then I get actually more energy. And actually I do more sales, I do more better results, I get more done. So why would not everybody wants to work from home is my question after 2 years doing this.
And I think there is a great point there about the, you know, it's sad that most workplaces don't understand, you know. I think there is a big cultural change that it's needed in the whole business, you know, in business life in general. We have too many taboos to actually ever reach any of the real potential that people have to give. And this is to all the leaders, you know, or people who think that they are leaders. You know, if you keep blocking the environment and you think that by standardization you can actually achieve some great results, you're so wrong. You will never achieve anything in this world. It's like a, you know, when we talk about time, it's a snapshot, and it's like it's a dust. It's already gone. It's not worth anything. All those efforts, tens of years that you put into that, isn't worth nothing, because it has no flow, it has no energy, and it's flat. So, you know, you gotta create an environment for people that is vibrant, that allows, okay, maybe we don't have to go to the point of having, you know, sex in the day, but the point is right, it's correct, is about, you know, you have to allow people to express, you have to allow people to find themselves and their own best self in that mode. And when they then go home from work or whatever, they are in a good place. So this is the thing. So in some ways, the whole trick is that when work life starts to sit, home life actually gets a lot more space and feels well, and all the benefits come back into the work life. How do you?
Actually, sorry, I have to quickly just tell you this. They made a scientific test of people. It was in TV, I don't remember when or where, but there were two groups. First group, they started working immediately, and then they have a pause. Next group could have a pause before, and then they start working. So actually the test results are amazing. Those one who take a rest first, they get more done, and they were more happier. These people were very not so happy because these guys are resting. Why we have to work? So it's actually better if you take a rest, or you give a gift to you first. You take care of you first, then you do others. Because many times if we leave ourselves to the last, then never comes our time. Because I don't have any more power. Then I just sleep, and my life is just work, taking care of children, maybe cleaning, eating, and sleep. Then there's nothing fun anymore. And that really drains people out.
Definitely. Fill your cup first, and then it's overflowing to give for others amazing energy, and then you're still full after the day. Yeah. That's definitely
beautifully said. Yes.
May I have the ball now?
Absolutely.
So I'm bringing the key element here, and which is really related to what Niklas said about like family life and children and that stuff, and what Minja said about like having sex during the day and moving and stretching. And so I'm from I've been to sports high school, so I was lucky that everyone was stretching there, so it was like normal there. And this
even in a class, you mean in a class you were stretching
every day?
My God, that's so nice.
Yeah, definitely. So the environment is so important. So surround you with the people you want to be like, kind of. So surround you with the people that you want to be like one day, and that the magic starts happening. And that's I'm grateful for you that I can be with you here. Really amazing. So now the key mindset change for me was definitely stopping trying to like separate work life and the normal life, like 9 to 5, and kind of keep it all there tight. And then it's the other life. It was the same in sport career, like having like 5 hours on sport and focusing only on that made me like crazy, like too much. And I was like, after 3 months, I was focusing only the athletic career. I was depressed. I was definitely depressed. So definitely combining and having a rhythm. Sometimes you're more putting focus on the major projects and then putting aside something like like if you're working hard 5 years, then you can have like a vacation for half a year or something. Then you can dive really deep, but still like a little bit keep other things going. It helps with the life balance very well. Anyways, back to the separation. Instead of separating the work life and the other life, now I'm doing that. I'm including all the key elements. I wrote a list and what is important for me, and it's individual for everyone. But what's important for me or you can write your list. There has to be important things like exercise, connection with other people's nature, nutrition, movement, and working and learning, things like that. Those are 7 good examples to include. If you didn't hear all, you can go watch the recording after. And so let them flow freely. And for example, I tried before to separate my son, like I'm just with my son and just my family time with my son, and then there is some important phone call coming, and then like I'm like, where to go? And now then I skipped that phone call, and maybe that opportunity went away. And now it's maybe sometimes I'm having definitely like offline time with my son, quality time, like, and it's enough to have a short moment like that. And even with my own exercise, like half an hour a day. But then the other day I can combine now I'm exercising, breathing exercises during this video call and stretching and all that stuff. And I can take my son with actually when this comes out, I'm going to take my son there, and my grandparents are going to take care of him, and he can run around there, maybe come to the event as well a little bit. And then I'm happier. I can be with my family. And I felt it with my clients as well, that sometimes if he's there running, it gives a really nice uplifting energy for all of us when it's flowing. And of course, not all the situations is not working. And so it's every time you do something, you learn more and you can do better. And now if the phone call comes and I'm with my son, I'm like, okay, if we have something very important, I'm just setting the phone call down. Wait, we are focusing now. But if I can set that he is okay, when you said that your family is well, then you can take the phone call and you can say, hey, I'm with my family. Let's take this quickly. And then we can even shorten the time we use. And so actually yesterday I had a moment that I got an extra half an hour in my day when I just said, I have important things to do. So let's do this quickly. And we get straight to the point.
Perfect. I'm so happy to hear that. And you know what I wanted to say just quickly, I'm sorry, thank you. So what I'm doing also now is because I'm doing this Krav Maga, and I'm a Krav Maga instructor, and then I'm also teaching yoga in the beach. But I always ask mothers to bring their childs or fathers, whoever is going to come to the class, bring your child because I bring mine. And my reason is because I want her to learn Krav Maga, but I don't have education to teach 5-year-old because it's totally different than how you teach to adult, because certain hits also and certain risks are totally different to a child. Of course, something I do teach, but I'm doing it because when she sees, she actually imitates. So she's like, because they are like a sponge. So children are sponge. So if you just show what you're doing and they are just aside, they're gonna imitate you. They're gonna want to do it, and you don't have to force them to do it. No. But the funniest thing with children is that, for example, yoga, she don't want to do it when I do it, but she goes and do it in the shop. And then she puts in the position and she do yoga. Even her yoga might be 1 minute or 30 seconds, but it's so funny. She said, now I'm doing yoga, and sometimes she's doing very, very hard jumps quickly, and she's doing like 5 minutes, very good exercise, but she's doing when she wants to do it.
Yeah, exactly. We have the same. My son is doing like, he's doing some yoga exercises and meditation and that, just like spontaneously, and he wants to do it. And
Yeah.
that's so much more energy, and really could see it for the rest of the life. And like now we are also having this future school project that we are gonna definitely include more like working life and the child's there together looking, and then they can learn from seeing what the parents are doing, and at the same time we still have the family connection.
And actually for that, I need to quickly say what is really missing is understanding of emotions. And I'm gonna make the course in the end of this year about emotional basic course, because I feel we don't understand our emotions. And many times, even this morning, some parent was saying to a child, don't be angry. I said, I just had to say, I couldn't be quiet, which was bad because now they hate me. But, you know, I just couldn't. I said, she has a right to be angry. How can you take her right to feel? You don't have that kind of right. Nobody has that kind of right. So I want to teach children what are their rights. And I want to also teach adults because they have been grown like that. And adults gonna be the most difficult part. Children is gonna be easy part, but the adults gonna be difficult part. But I'm ready to give them help if they could, you know, start accepting their feelings, their children's feelings, everybody's feelings, and then we can feel, then we can move.
Yeah, it takes definitely this work combining family and work. It takes effort from and focusing from parents and adults to work on their emotions. Definitely, that's important.
I think that's a really good probably place to end as well. So I think, you know, that realization that, you know, Aapo, you came to, which is that in life we clearly have created, again, far too much standardization what comes to our children. And sometimes I say that, you know, nobody is lost in this life. Everybody can be saved and everybody can grow to the last breath. You can do that. There is no place where we should just, you know, go into self-pity. But what we should focus on more is what legacy we leave behind. And I think we are leaving a dreadful legacy at the moment, because we've standardized things like schools and even how we bring up children. I come from an environment where I was engaged in everything. Life was running around me, not for me, that my parents would be caring for me or my grandparents, like, oh, you know, now is Niklas time. There no such thing existed. I was there. I was free. I was free to follow. I was free to engage. I was free to do. And if they didn't let me, I went in and I said, now I'm going to do this. And if they didn't like, they tried to stop me, I still did it. So it's all about, you take your space. In life, you do not settle. You make it. But why are we taking it away from people? It also the same goes to every leader, everything. If you restrict people from growing, if you restrict them from their creativity, if you think that some theory is correct, you're wrong, because it's not. Life is very simple in this sense, is that you have to allow the flow to exist where things are in balance. If you are the stopper, because you think that you're older or wiser or anything else, you're already in the wrong. You have nothing to bring this world when you take that attitude. You have to respect every minute. You have to respect the universe. You have to respect yourself. You have to respect everything around you. And that's where you have at least a chance to grow. And I think that's the point. And I think it's awesome that we could get this far in such a short time. Take that as a point. How much can you cover in a short time? Think about where also for people is that you will feel better, you will live better when you take decisions. You are mindful about what's around you. Listen to your heart, not to your mind, until your mind is big enough that it actually is something you can trust. That's it. You know, life is simple in this way, and balance, you can actually find it. So that's it. But we have to close here. Thank you, Minja. Thank you, Aapo. It's been absolutely great. Please go and check out the profiles of these guys, and you know, anything you want to know, I'm sure they will give you time and try to answer if you have any questions. So, you know, same goes for me. You know, let's make the world a better place. This is one step towards that.
Exactly, and share happiness. And I was so happy to be in your company today. I learned so much, and I want to remind everybody you should subscribe to this channel, because there's a lot awesome videos and growing coming into this channel. I'm very glad to be part of it. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here until the end, and I'll leave you 2 things in the end that you can straight away start using. Make sure you have a break every 50 minutes, at least start with 3 minutes break each time, every day. Make sure you do it. You can use a timer or something, alarm. And secondly, here is a courage ball for you. Jump to your dreams and grow your heart as big as you can during this lifetime.
Thank you, guys. See you later. Thanks to all you viewers. Have a great day.